Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. With that being said, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Organic herbs and botanicals, skincare and edibles, wellness for body and mind. The Brothers Apothecary. Fine teas and remedies. Ronald Records. From indie gems to classic hits, discover the heart of local music. With live shows all the time, up close and personal, and regular releases on their in-house label. Ronald Records. Supporting the community, one track at a time. All right, thank you all so much for watching. Again, shout out The Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guest.
Hi, I'm Dontae Harriss.
Hello.
What's up?
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about, who you are, where you're from, what you do. Give us that Tinder profile of your involvement with music.
Okay, my little LinkedIn.
Oh man, that's a good one.
My name is Dontae Harriss. I make music like R&B, rap, rock, punk, and I'm from Vancouver, Washington.
Oh hell yeah, another local.
Yeah.
And what got you into music initially?
I always wanted to impress the girls in fifth grade? Band, clarinet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I did choir, and then I lip synced the whole thing.
Interesting. So did you ever learn choir techniques?
No.
Okay. But now you are a vocalist, so I guess it still kind of came all the way around.
A little bit full circle.
Oh yeah. And do you play any other instruments besides clarinet now?
Yeah. Bass guitar, regular guitar, electric guitar, keyboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you play them predominantly in the music that you do now, or is that just you're familiar with everything?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if the drums would count, but I do everything on my phone, and the drums are programmed. But
okay, I mean, hey, that still technically counts in its own way.
Yeah, so it got rhythm to it. So
yeah. And was anybody in your family musical growing up, or are you the first generation of musician?
A lot of them. My mom sings all the time, and one of my cousins went to college for it, I think.
Oh, cool. Yeah. What do they do with music now?
Nothing.
Or I guess what were they going to school for?
I think it was just to be in the band and stuff.
Okay.
I didn't really ask fully into that.
That's fair. Well, hey, I mean, at least you were surrounded by some of it, but
yeah,
it's cool what you do with it now. And I'm definitely looking forward to talking about more of what you do with music in the present day. But before we get into it, I do have a couple foundation questions I check in with everybody on.
Yeah.
And this first one, it's one we ask early, it's one we ask often, and it's definitely a crowd favorite. What was the first album you ever bought with your own money?
That's a good question. Ooh, wait. It was Purple Rain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, quality first album.
Yeah. Well, are we counting vinyls or CDs?
Both. Whichever one happened first. But now we're gonna do both.
Yeah, both. Okay. Well, the first CD was an album by Cree Summer.
Okay.
Very.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And then what was one of the first live shows you ever went to that was specifically one you wanted to go to?
No, I've never been to a show.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
But you've played your own shows.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, that still counts for something.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Well, damn, now when you go to one, that's going to be such an interesting perspective.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to now, because I think about it, I'm just it might mess me up.
I think it's worth it just because, I mean, I didn't go to my first show until I was 17, 16. I even went late compared to everybody I knew. And it's one of those things where it's once you see kind of the scale of it, it lets you think a little bit bigger on what you want to do. When you realize that there's really no holds barred, it kind of becomes a cool way to be oh, the skies really are the limit.
Yeah.
And if you're a Prince fan, you should know.
Yeah.
The performance is so much a big part of it. So
I love that stuff. I think of it as theater.
Yeah.
Like James Brown and all of them. It's like opera stuff is pretty much what it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even I always like to reference Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah.
Stage presence, because like if you haven't seen it, he headlined Lollapalooza a couple years back
With the RV?
Yep. Yeah. That the set design was phenomenal. His performance was incredible. Like the fact that he was able to like kind of like interact with the crowd, but also be in the movement, like that just kind of changed my life as like somebody who was just watching it. So
I've liked the performances he did for Igor too.
Yeah.
That was pretty sick.
I mean, he is a performer through.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's super important, especially nowadays too.
Yeah. But we're not here to talk about him. We're here to talk about you. And before we get into what you do in the present day, do you have a defining moment where you decided you wanted to take music more seriously?
Yeah, it was when COVID started. I was 15, I think. Yeah, so like 11th grade or something. I might have gotten that wrong, but like 11th grade or something. I bought a guitar. That was the second thing I bought with my paycheck, and I was gonna play it. And I was like, I'm going to play it in the summer because I'm failing all my classes. So I'm going to get that up first. And then once I started playing guitar in that time, then I kind of blacked out and it just, yeah. But all the stuff I made at first, it was really bad. It sounded...
it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this. I don't think there are many people that are like, a guitar.
It was like one of those Instagram memes where it was like, Mr. Krabs' legs on a beat. Like it's a beat, but it's supposed to be bad. Like that's exactly what it sounded like. It was funny.
Hey, I think that's all right. I think especially because when you archive those, because you've been like working on it for a while, and you come back to it in like 3-5 years, then you go,
that's exactly
progress.
What happened.
Yep.
I was what was it? Creatively bankrupt pretty much. I was going through them. I was like, I'm not using these.
No. And what's crazy too is when you do finally stumble across one that was from so long ago and you're like, there's a small nugget of something here.
Yeah.
Like I don't like 90%, but this 10%, I bet you now I can make a cool song. And then once you build that whole song, you're like, this started with such a silly little thing. So that, I mean, but it's still, that's part of the process.
It's evolution.
Yeah, very much so. But now let's go ahead and let's get on into you in the present day. And we're going to get a super easy one out of the way. Or at least I think it's a super easy one. How'd you pick the name?
I like to journal a lot. I just write random things down. I was just gonna go with my actual name, but I wanted a 2-name thing. That sounded very global. Because I was thinking like Michael Jackson or Steve Lacy or Amy Winehouse. I was like, Dontae Harriss sounds kind of cool. So that's pretty much how it happened.
So now I'm surprised because I thought your name was Dontae Harriss.
No.
So color me surprised because that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask what it is now because I want to leave the illusion there. But that I was so sure you were going to be like, well, it's my name.
Yeah.
So that's actually a fun one because it's, I mean, other than the clever way of spelling, it's such a comfortable name. Like I mean, you're spot on with that. You definitely made one that feels like instantly household.
Thank you.
Because it just feels like do people just call you Dontae?
Yeah, people always ask like if it's like colleagues or friends, they always ask me like, so what do you want to be called? I'm just like, everyone, I don't know. But yeah.
I mean, damn, now I think you just have to lean into Dontae. Like
I have been, I've been like if I go to Jamba Juice or something, I'm like put in Dontae.
Yeah, that's a good way to get used to it.
Yeah.
You definitely want to be able to respond when people call you it.
Yeah.
I think who is it? The Edge. U2. His mom refers to him as the Edge. And I don't love that, but like I think it's cool to be able to lean into that. So that's really interesting. But now let's go ahead and let's talk about your writing process. And we're going to break it up into chunks, but we're going to start right at the beginning. So when you get inspired, you're ready to make music. What are some of the things you do to get a track started?
I kind of it's different. It can happen anywhere. I could be like brushing my teeth and then I get a song. I could be like eating cereal. I could be watching a show or a movie and I hear a word, or maybe a car drives by and just like the rhythm of the engine or something. Or I could just, I don't know, just the simple stuff too. Like I have a drum idea in my head and then I put that down, then I put the bass and then Yeah. Lyrics are always last, though.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And now, is that because you feel more comfortable with like the instrumentation itself, or do you just like to write to a complete song?
Kind of both. Well, yeah, it was the first thing. And then preferring it came because it was more easier.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I dig that. I mean, I am the farthest thing from a vocalist, so I'm always anybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna be scared listening to this because
Oh no. I mean, it's first of all, our editing team is very capable. You will sound great.
Okay.
But also, I just like I think that it's impressive that you can do like vocals in general. Because like I said, I mean, I talk hours and hours and hours on the show, and I would never sing. You got to get me really, really prepared to do any kind of karaoke. Yeah. I need like 48 hours notice. I need it to be like friends I haven't seen in 10 years. Yeah. Like, this is what we're doing.
Vocal lessons real quick.
Yeah, I'm just like, I've got 3 songs that I'll stick to. But like, I think it's cool what you can do with it. And also like, you know, we'll jump. Usually I like checking on a couple more points here, but let's jump and talk about some of your music. Because I was checking it out, and first of all, I got to tell you, it's really cool. Like it, as a style, like, I mean, it on my notes here, I was saying it's really refreshing. Like I listened to it and it has this like classic feel, but not like it feels like you're recreating classics. It feels like it's going to become classic music, if that makes sense. Like it has this like this presence to it where it's like you're clearly, you've got sounds you like. You got sounds you're leaning into, but you're not afraid to try things. You're not afraid to like put these pieces together to create kind of its own picture. And it's like, it's loose, it's edgy, it sounds digital and analog at the same time. But it also has a lot of like surprise elements. And I think that's really cool. And also, when I was going through, I could tell you had these like moments of like hip hop and rap, but you've definitely got this very like avant-garde indie meets punk, which I'm glad you said pop punk because I didn't want to quite coin it as that, but like it does have this really like this undertone of a pop element that just exists so deep in it because everything else is so prominent.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that because it reminds me, not so much in style, but in presentation as like early Gorillaz.
I like that.
Yeah, like early Gorillaz, you kind of didn't know what was going to happen next.
Yeah, it was like a presentation.
Yeah, but you knew it was going to be Gorillaz.
Yeah.
So the only thing you could do is kind of take a seat and listen to what was coming up next. And that's just a fun way to experience music. And I was checking out your most recent track, Stay, and it's very synthy, it's very punky. The bass is driving, the vocals are punchy, and it had this attitude to it, which, you know, now having met you, like you are a fairly like level even person. So it's kind of cool to meet the duality of that and see where it comes from. And I know I'm going long, but this last part is where I pick out a personal track where I enjoy it and I talk about it for a second.
Okay.
And because I'm so deep rooted in like rap and hip hop, I really wanted to go with Metronome.
Okay.
Because it's such a cool track in that realm. But I actually went with The King Has Died in Amsterdam.
Oh yeah.
Because that track is wild.
Really?
Like, I mean, the fuzziness and the grunginess, it just like, it had this like this digital this grit to it, but it was that digital glitch in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like that,
you heard that?
That made me stop what I was doing. Like, I was definitely on a break at work. But while I was listening to it, I was just like, hold on a second, because I know I'm listening to this on Spotify. So that's not like technology. That was a choice thing. And then it happens again a little bit later in the track. And it grabs you in such a way because it's such a textural thing that was already happening inside of such a visceral track. It was so thick and it was so full already. And for you to just command the attention with this element that is so far outside of it, but felt so appropriate every time that it happened. It was such a cool design. And so that was the track that just really stood out to me. I really enjoyed it.
That means a lot, bro.
Yeah. But like I said, I've been talking forever, so
no,
I'm going to get back to you. I am curious to know, what are some of your favorite tracks to perform?
That's a good question, because I think since my last show, I just found my set list in that.
Okay. Was that the one at Ronald Records?
Yeah.
Shout out Ronald Records.
Yeah. But A lot of them are unreleased, but I really like. It's called "It's Murder."
Mm-hmm.
I like this one called "Redeem" because I transitioned into just a guitar thing, like live, and then.
And do you play with a band live, or are you just you?
It's just me now.
Okay,
I did before.
Okay,
but yeah, now it's just me and like the speaker for the instruments and stuff.
I got
no backing vocals unless it's background vocals.
Fair. But,
yeah, and then this new one that I have not played live yet or released. It's called "Want You." Yeah, yeah.
And that actually segues well into the next question. Tell us about some of the new music you're working on. What can we look forward to? Like stylistically, what's it got going on? Like creatively, what direction are you moving in?
It's "Stay" is the first single.
Okay.
I'm working towards like a 5 to 7 song EP. And I'm gonna just say that the concept is very blue colored, very 90s, and very flannel. Yeah.
Those were such visual descriptions. I get it. Like, I don't think you mean blue like Blue Dabba-Dee-Da.
No.
But like, I get it. I get it. Especially having listened to all your other music. That
it's like cyber.
Okay. Yeah. No, definitely looking forward to that.
Thank you.
But now let's take a moment and let's step back. Let's look at kind of music as a whole. Now, what are some of the things about either new music in general, or at least new music to you, that you enjoy and you're finding inspiration from?
Oh, I listen to music 24/7. I don't know. It's very subconscious. I think just like when I'm recording, I'm listening to music, just random things pop up. I'm just like, ooh, this is a song that's already made. And then I listen to that song and I'm like, no, it's not. But I can see it a little bit. That makes sense.
Yeah. So when you say it's like, when it's like, so do you like hear it and you think, oh, this feels so familiar, like it must already be a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think that's when I like make something good. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just love it. It's just fun to listen to.
Do you find yourself listening to like a lot of like music that's like new, or just like, do you just dive anything regardless of time period?
Anything. Just in the car here, I was listening to Schoolboy Q, and then it went to like this 80s gothic pop punk band. So it's just anything. There's no bad music.
I'm so curious what the 80s goth punk or pop punk band was now.
I was hoping you'd ask that.
Oh, cool.
This might be a little unprofessional. I'm sorry.
No, you're all good. I mean, we're going to find out right now.
Yes.
What was it?
It was,
We're not even editing this out. Y'all are waiting in real time with me. The anticipation.
Drum roll. I hope I'm not pronouncing it wrong. It's Sin Toma, one word, and the song was Me Robot, but M-I. Yeah.
Well, if I remember in post, I will post that on the screen so that the picture is there.
It's a classic.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And I think, what do you enjoy most about finding new music all the time?
Magic. It feels very magical finding a new song. It's kind of like how like looking out in the sky, it just always looks different but similar. If that makes any sense.
That actually makes a weird amount of sense due to a completely separate conversation about the sky I was having with somebody 2 nights ago. That is weirdly correlative to me specifically, but that is a really cool way to put it. I appreciate that, because off camera I was saying I also enjoy listening to almost exclusively new music. I rarely ever backtrack if I can help it. So I'm in the same boat, and I've never actually asked anybody that specific question.
Yeah.
So that was a new one for me too.
And also, like, new music could be anything too, like old, like it could be like some song from like the 50s or something. Yeah, and it can still hit the same as some, like if Frank Ocean puts some out today. Man,
Frank, please put out more music. We need it. But that was from a whole different episode, so I'm not gonna circle back on that one.
Yeah.
But before we move into this next portion, I have one last question to go in this middle part, and it's probably the densest question in the interview. But we've talked a lot about your experiences, your actions, your reactions. But when it's just you and the music, one-on-one, what does music give back to you?
Hope. Yeah, makes me feel like a kid again. Yeah. Like every time I hear like you talk about songs that I wrote myself.
I mean, just all of music.
All of music. Well, yeah,
all
of music.
It can be what you've written. Just music as a whole.
Yeah, and it just brings me back, and not just like from like nostalgic memories, just like that feeling, just like I could do anything, which I can if you music's supposed to give you that feeling of rebellion in a way. Supposed to make you want to stand out, supposed to make you like want to like groove, because everyone has different rhythms and stuff, so it just makes me feel free. Just feel like I'm still in church with my grandma, just singing the church songs. Yeah.
Damn, that was a really powerful answer. Thank you for sharing that. But no, I mean, I think you kind of touched on it really well. Like the need. I got to talk to somebody once, and I feel bad. I can never remember what anybody says because I've done too many of these. But there was one time where I was talking to somebody on the show, and they said that music let them have a voice for their peers because they were very shy in person. They wouldn't talk to anybody, but when they got on stage, they could sing in front of the whole school. And that was how people got to know them. That was how they like realized that there's a bigger person underneath. And so I think that freedom and that rebellion is kind of lives up into that concept really well, because it's true. And I mean, I guess I always kind of relearn what that means for everybody, and even for myself every time I hear the answer. So I really appreciate you sharing that.
Of course.
But
it's very punk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Man, music is punk. Cool. I love that. Somebody make that a sticker. Or you should make that a sticker. Nobody else make that a sticker. That's yours now.
I'm going to put it on jackets and stuff.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love that.
Thank you.
But now let's go ahead and let's move on to this next portion, which is all hypothetical questions. And for these, sky's the limits. The questions are all made up, so the answers are allowed to be as well. But this first one is pretty straightforward. If you could work with any one person, the only requirement is they have to be alive. Who would you want to work with, and how would you want to work with them?
Just only pick one?
Yeah.
Probably, first person that comes to my head, Janelle Monáe. Like to work with her for stage presence. I feel like she has a very, I mean, I guess it could be natural if you practice on it, but has a very natural way of commanding the stage from what I've seen on videos and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then subsequently, who's a local artist that you're aware of that you haven't gotten to connect with yet, but you would like to?
I do not know. Yeah. I'm not really, sadly, that like active because I'm so focused on getting other things, you know?
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. No, I could totally dig that. Well, everybody, we're going to twist it up a little bit. Usually I say at whoever they mention, but add some people in the comments that you think Dontae should work with. That'd be fun. And then for this next one, like I said before, sky's the limit, and it's pretty literal in this sense. But if you could perform anywhere in the world, and you wouldn't have to worry about crowd access or building stability or power, it was guaranteed the best lineup, guaranteed the best show, and it doesn't have to be a venue. It could be anywhere. Where would you want to perform?
Can I pick two?
Yes.
Okay. One of them, it's in Portland. Why is the name escaping me right now? It's where the Blazers play at.
Oh, the Motor Center?
The Motor Center.
Yep.
And then Wembley Stadium. Yeah.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gotten that as an answer before. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
Would you like want to do a halftime show there, or just like at the stadium because of like the place that it is?
This is a full show.
Damn.
Full send it.
That'd be wild. That's a cool choice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It'd be like a childhood dream to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's aesthetically, that's like a really good venue to do it.
It's really good. Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah. No, I love that.
Yeah. Thank you.
I love that.
Thank you.
And then to wrap up the hypothetical questions, if you could get one more album from anybody, they could be alive, they could be dead, they could have not put out an album in 100 years, they could have put out an album yesterday. Who would you want an album from?
Probably Cree Summer. Yeah. She's alive, but her last album came out in the 90s. So it's just like, you kind of have to put to rest that is probably never going to happen again. But
I mean, we could always be optimistic.
Always hope.
You know, everybody at her as well. Let's see if we can make that happen.
Please.
Hell yeah. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. What can we look forward to between, let's say, now and February?
On August 8th, I have a show, which is this Thursday, at Beers Beats. It's in Portland. and it's going to be at 6.
Okay.
That's going to be fun.
Unfortunately, I think this comes out the day after that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's too bad. I'll put videos up. And then all through August, I'll be recording videos for the next singles. And then by December, my EP should be mixed and out. If it's not out, it should be out by January.
Okay. Hell yeah. Well, we'll definitely have to have you come back and do a tuned in episode for that.
That would be awesome.
And then for this next one, go and look straight at the camera. Tell everybody how they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at Dontae.Harriss with 2 S's or Dontae Harriss with 3 S's. Got 2 accounts. So, yeah.
Hell yeah. And then any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you want to put on while you're on here?
Yes. There is this artist in Portland. Her name is Natalis. And she's on Instagram. I think it's Natalis with the second A has 2 A's. So there's 3 A's altogether. Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. With that being said, we've got one last question to go. But before we do, I'm going to steal the camera for just a second.
Go ahead.
As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And one more shout out to the Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, the final question. And this is entirely up to your interpretation. But what is an album you feel is more on the obscure side? It's a deep cut. It's one not a lot of people would know, but it's one you think everybody should know.
Oddly enough, there's maybe like a hot take. I don't know why I said that word out loud. This might be what a lot of people don't agree on, but Black Star by David Bowie.
I thought you were about to say Black Star by Black Star. I was like, I love that album.
I just think it's like super underappreciated for the whole reason surrounding of its being out and everything. It's should be looked into and not analyzed, but appreciated a lot more than just the album he dropped when he, yeah, it's really cool record with a lot of crazy sounds and stuff.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely a super solid rec.
Yeah.
All right, but with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah. And this has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. I'm Jimmy.
I'm Dontae Harriss.
And we're signing off. Later, y'all.
That's a wrap.
This is not a podcast. This is a show.
Keep jamming.